Good morning. It is a warm and humid day here in North Carolina. It's the first week of August, and today I'm in Weymouth Woods in the Sandhills of North Carolina trying to photograph red-cockaded woodpeckers. So come along and enjoy this adventure. So I'm in here in August, and the reason I'm here now is because there should be more red-cockaded woodpeckers now than there is early in the season. So red-cockaded woodpeckers breed from April to June. They're very unique among woodpeckers in the sense that they only breed in nest holes that they build, and they only build nest holes in live trees of a certain size. This bird is an extremely endangered species. It's a species of extreme concern. So I'm in the Sandhills of North Carolina, and Fort Bragg, United States military base, is in this same area here. And Fort Bragg military base takes up 250 square miles of the Sandhills. And even in that area here, they burn to protect the forest for this red-cockaded woodpeckers, and all the soldiers are barred from doing any kind of exercises in areas where the red-cockaded woodpecker is. That's how endangered this bird is. So it's very important that these birds are protected. And one thing that this bird is very dependent on is fire. Fire opens up the bottom of the forest so that their predators can't get at them, like black snakes and copperheads. So if you don't have fire, you end up with species that are other than the longleaf pine, which is the pine they breed in. And it ends up being a very dense forest, which is very easy for red-cockaded predators to get at them. And the fact that this bird evolved to live in a forest like this. So this forest that we're in right now is burned on a regular basis. As a matter of fact, a section over here has already been burned actually last week. So this is very important to protect these birds. But like I said, the one thing about photographing the red-cockaded woodpeckers that's fantastic is the biologists mark the trees that the birds are using. So basically, you don't have to wander through the woods looking for the birds. You wander through the woods looking for where the biologists have marked the trees. And unfortunately, the problem I'm having today is it is a very bright and sunny day. I was really hoping that we were supposed to have a lot of cloud cover today, and we don't. And I have actually driven about 100 miles to get here. So I'm not feeling great about this, and the fact that the forest is extremely quiet. I've actually used my Merlin app to see if I can hear any birds calling or anything like that. And the only thing that's calling right now is that the app is hearing is the Carolina wren. But I'm going to stick this out and see if I can get some photos of this bird. It's one of those birds that I'm just excited about photographing. I don't know why I have this excessive excitement about photographing this bird, but that's why I come out here and photograph them every year. Well, I have to tell you, I've been out here for about an hour, and the bird activity has been very, very weak. I was actually very, very disappointed by all of this, but I just photographed a eastern wood pewee. Usually I hear these birds, I don't see them, but it was exciting getting a picture of it. The bird activity is really, really kicked up, and I'm very, very excited about this. Well, bird number 2 is a chipping sparrow. Actually, I've seen a lot of chipping sparrows here. Chipping sparrows are a very common bird here in North Carolina, especially in the southern part of the state. They're here all year long. In the northern part of the state where I live, they're only a winter visitor here, but in this part of the state, they live here all year long. There are actually more chipping sparrows here in the winter time because birds further north migrate down south. But it's still good to get a picture of the chipping sparrow. I think that's the first chipping sparrow I photographed this fall, so that's kind of exciting. But anyways, that's bird number 2. I gotta tell you, my heart started beating really fast. I saw a woodpecker picking stuff off the ground. I thought, oh, the red-cockaded woodpecker. And then I said to myself, that's a big bird for red-cockaded woodpecker. And it turned out to be a juvenile red-headed woodpecker. We are getting closer. We are now in the woodpecker family. But, you know, I'm kind of excited about getting this picture here. This is a fairly common, well, I shouldn't say common. It's not a rare bird. Uncommon would probably be a more accurate description. You can pretty much guarantee that in certain areas you will find a red-headed woodpecker. Red-headed woodpeckers generally like it really wet, and it's not that wet here, so I think this is a juvenile trying to find a territory. So this bird might actually fly hundreds of miles to find a good territory for it to set up. But you see these birds in the fall picking up acorns and hammering them into the bark of trees, and then they come back and feed on those acorns. But I think that's still exciting. Bird number 3. If the pictures are any good, here they are. Well, I'm trying a different area. So this area here has been burned recently. And when I say recently, there are still some hot spots that I'm coming across while I'm walking around here. This looks incredibly destructive, but fire is very, very important to this area here. And so I'm just going to walk around here. I'm seeing a lot of white stripes on trees here, so I'm really hoping I run into those red-cockaded woodpeckers. I remember as a kid seeing something like this when I was in the Boy Scouts on a hike, and we called the Forest Service, and they did a water drop on it. And today, how this fire was burned over a week ago, it's literally still going, and they're not doing anything about it. They're just letting it go because it's part of nature, and this has to happen. Well, this is future editing Sean, and as I was watching the videos, I was obviously suffering from some kind of heat exposure or something like that, because the videos were becoming incoherent. I was having a lot of trouble trying to figure out what I was trying to say. So I'm going to end the video here because I never did find a red-cockaded woodpecker, and one of the reasons I didn't, when I came home I did some more research. In August, these birds disperse from their breeding areas out into the forest, and they hunt in small flocks for food so that they can disperse with other red-cockaded woodpeckers, and in the spring they will come together and form a flock with their helper birds to raise these red-cockaded, the next generation of red-cockaded woodpeckers. So I did get out there a little late. I was a little, I should have done a little bit more research before I went out there, but I was so excited about going out there, and I wanted to cover them burning the forest because I knew they were going to do that. So I was really, really excited about being out there, and I probably overlooked some of the research that I should have done, but I did have a fantastic time out there. So if you got anything out of this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to this channel because that really helps us in the YouTube world. Become a Patreon supporter. Your support allows us to keep doing this. My name is Sean Leahy. I want to thank you for watching.